Let me sneeze. I just snoozed. Meine Freunde, welcome to my channel. Most of you know that I do fluid art, but I actually come from brush painting. A lot of other things too, but brush painting today. When you're a fluid artist, you know how hard it is to plan your painting. The paint does a lot of things that you didn't think of or that you didn't want it to do. It is all up to you to be in the moment and deal with the paint while it's doing its thing. You've seen in the last couple weeks that I intended to paint on top of a poured painting, and my problem was I had no plan. I had a small plan, but it's really hard to follow it through. So to prepare myself for future adventures, I'm gonna plan a painting and paint it. When you're able to plan your painting ahead of time, that's cool. Do it, because that will give you a little bit more security and a tiny bit of a path that you can follow along. I will show you some sketches I did just to show you how I try to figure out a composition that works. Maybe some colors, even though I was a little bit limited on my color palette. So these are things that I did. It is done just with a marker. Those are all ideas. There's a fun one. That's actually going that way. There's 3 different ones. I was a little bit, there's a water drop that dripped over all 3 of my ideas, but this one actually looks really good. And I would like to attempt this piece today. It really helps me. Here's a few more in grayscale. So I get an idea of a composition. I usually follow the rule of thirds. That's the easiest. If you want to know more about it, I will have a color theory course in Dallas, Texas next year, April 2026. And we will get into composition a little bit as well in that class. That's going to happen at the Fluid Art Experience, you guys. Check out all the other teachers and my other classes if you're interested in pouring, introduction to acrylic painting, all this kind of stuff. So those are my ideas. Ideas help me to figure out what I'm going to do. So we're going to do this guy today. Not exactly the colors, not exactly this, but this is going to be my inspiration. Let's do it. Picking another color palette is easy. Go online, type in color palette, and hundreds, thousands of ideas will come up. You can pick your own with this. It's a color wheel, and it shows you colors that are related to each other, what is a hue, what is a tint, and also what are the complementary colors. And that's what I'm going to work with today. I picked colors that are in this range of my color wheel, so blue to violet, and then I will add a few complementary colors from yellow to orange. That's the plan. Let's see if I can stick to it. And let me show you my colors. So a random combination of acrylic paints. This is ultramarine violet light. This is blue violet. This is a mauve shade. Then I have ultramarine blue. My yellows, not sure if I'm going to use all of those, but it is Naples yellow hue. Then I have India yellow. I have golden yellow. Then I have Charvin saffron. The next one is Naples yellow deep by Amsterdam. I have a bunch of other stuff, but we will go into that while I'm painting. Cool? Cool. You can use a palette that is made for brush painting. I will just put my paints on my pouring mat. Brushes, don't overthink it, don't overspend. Basically, this is a set of bristle brushes, super cheap. I think it was $10 for 6 of them. It's totally fine. You want to get paint on the canvas. Doesn't matter how, at least at this point. But I will actually start with this guy. This is, you know, I actually have no idea what it is. It's art graph. I got it from Europe. I'm not sure if you can buy it here, but you should be able to. It's water soluble and it's basically a brick of paint pressed in this shape. Let me get you down so you can watch me. My sketch here is just an idea of a composition, something that I tried out, that I liked, and that I'm trying to put on the canvas now. So I start with very loose objects that are overlapping each other, trying to figure out a flow. In this composition I have two focal points. One is bigger, that is on the left side, and one that seems to be further back, more on the right, but they are corresponding with each other somehow. Those paint bricks are super pigmented, so a little bit of water makes them just flow and the black gets really black. Be so careful to clean your hands because I made so many messes with this. Super pigmented. And here you can see how pigmented this brick really is. I'm okay with it. This is just the early stages. I will add so much paint on this. Yeah, it's fine. So I basically just follow the shapes that I just drew on there, trying to be very loose and just yeah, seeing what happens, what shapes I see, where I wanna add things, where I wanna counteract the flow. And now I add my yellow color scheme for the background, and again my water soluble paint brick water soluble away and blend into my yellow. I'm fine with it. There's some water and I try to find some interesting layerings and patterns, something random, something that helps me find the shape of this painting. The hairdryer on hot helps me to not only dry my paint but also move the paint around to again find some cool effects. These are solid paint sticks. They are very creamy. They're also water soluble when they're still wet. So I get a brush out and also the hairdryer later. This is more or less random. It has a lot of similarities with fluid art because I am in the moment and I am just painting away. All I have are a few rules, which is 1, my composition, and 2, the colors. And I try to, not like I did in my last painting, keep the one color scheme, the purples and pinks, on the objects while I use my yellows on the background. That way they will make a difference. They are complementary, so they will stand out from each other. This here was a big leap because my camera gave up. I added some more blue, made it a little bit more lively, and it's fascinating to me, and I learned a lot in this piece. If you use just one single different color, you change the whole mood of the canvas. And this is what I'm trying to do here. Learn about colors, composition, what happens if, these kind of things. At this stage, I really like the subtle yellow, very natural and warm blending of the background. while the focal points are more or less totally in your face and different. I just play around, you guys. I just play. And here's where I had a little bit of an aha moment. When I added the very cold but bright yellow next to my object here. Not only the complementary element, but also the contrasting temperature of the colors makes everything really pop. So now here's my thing though. I like to overdo things. It works in one spot, so hey, let's put it everywhere. It could work. Yeah, not always. That's me. That's my lesson I still have to learn. And we all have things to learn, don't we? And that's totally fine. Just keep practicing and you will get there at one point. I am so positive about that. I also believe that if you are a fluid artist and just rely on the paint doing its thing, you might not get to the point where your pieces are considered art. I know this is a tough subject, but I believe that good art really has to be more than just coincidental. And I know you all guys work your butt off and try to figure out how to be the boss of the paint, but you do need the background of what is a good composition, what colors are working, how do I achieve the mood that I want to achieve, how do I make colors pop, how do I bring focus onto one point of my canvas, what is a focal point, where does the focal point go, what is important for a painting to have so you are enjoying looking at it. And that is a wide range of personal preferences, yes. But there's also proven things that work. Only when you know all these rules, you're gonna be able to break them. It's not the other way around. Anyways, this painting is not done, but I will show it to you done in a second. Quite some things changed, but basically I left it the way you saw it last. I just worked more on the details. I finished up the movement of this weird vortexy thing. And this came out as a wrinkly fried egg. I don't know. It's so much fun. So another thing that I changed is the background. I mixed more of my very cold yellow and added it to the complete background. That made the background a little bit fuller. I added more details there. It looks a little dirty. The background I added the details here, and then there's a 3D liner on there. It's the black line. I'm enjoying that immensely, you guys. This makes me so happy. I get a chuckle out of this painting. I love the colors, even though they're a little bit too much. And like I said, I do like the more subtle background a bit more. I made it look very comic-y. But again, I love it. Obviously, it's not the sketch that I showed you in the beginning, but that's not what this was about. It is using a composition that I know that works because I worked on my sketch, right? And go with that composition and play with it. It really helps learning about composition. It helps learning about color. And this, I am sure, will help me creating art that I really like. Thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you soon. Don't forget the Fluid Art Experience in April. Check out the teachers, the classes. Come on and paint with us. Bye-bye.